Okay, thank you very much. Prof, opening words, parting words? If not, I'm just amongst friends, so we'll just start our happy hour.
Absolutely. Listen, I'm so glad for us to start here, and really happy. Thank you, Diana, for volunteering to moderate, and Don, Pei Wen, Doobie, Glenn, all coming in here to share some of your thoughts as well in terms and experiences. Really appreciate that time. So with that, everyone just sit back, listen. But actually, does Diana let you sit back and just listen? No, she's going to have you interact too.
No.
So I would definitely ask you guys to turn your cameras on. I'm not a speaker in this, so I hope I'm just modeling having my camera on here. But if you want to join us, at least wave hello to the folks that are going to be sharing with you. That's always nice. So
okay. Why don't you start with why don't we start with a photograph, Prof?
That's a great idea too.
Yeah. Whoever is willing, please switch on your camera so we can see who's in the room. I'm super excited to welcome you in class very, very soon. I'll give you extra participation points for having your cameras on now.
And thanks, Sue, for coming in again. Sue helped organize all this. She's our president for the Talent Pavilion.
Thank you.
Hi, Sue. Thank you. Thanks.
You guys. Thanks for being part of this.
Okay.
All right, 5, 4, camera. This picture is going to be done in 3, 2, and I know I'm moving a little bit fast, but this is how long it takes for me to get my hair ready. So just 5 seconds. 1. All right, we've got the picture taken. There we go. Okay.
Thank you. 5 seconds. I wake up like this, looking like this, guys. So less than 5 seconds.
Nice.
Welcome, everyone. So awesome to have you in the room. I'm terribly blessed because it feels like I'm, having, like I said, coffee or happy hour, as I like to call it, with old friends in the meantime. I see that my co-lecturer Uli is also in the room. So I think we're very lucky today, having quite a lot of interesting perspectives, hoping to answer all of the questions you may have or may not yet have, but they come up throughout the conversation. I encourage you to feel free not to wait for a pause, not to put your hand up, just, unmute yourself, ask the question, and I will stop in my tracks and allow someone else to speak, I promise you. So, hey, thanks very much for joining us today. I'm Diana. I am actually one of the co-lecturers, fellow of the FinTech Lab, and I run with a whole bunch of other colleagues and friends, one of the modules of FinTech SG. As mentioned, I'm very, very happy to have old friends in the room, and I say that in jest. Dawn, Pei Wen, Glenn, Doobie, all graduates, so ex-students, but lifelong friends in the meantime. I'm going to just go around the room and let you guys introduce yourself and say, please, what your original last background was before you joined the course and what you're doing now, okay? And then we will kick off with a couple of questions. Dawn, please, if I can ask you to start.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Diana. Hi, everyone. My name is Dawn. I was doing supply chain, actually. I worked in the private sector as well as the public sector. In the public sector, I was in LTA. I was in charge of buying buses as well as doing all the technology trials. So you see the electric buses there on the roads, the diesel hybrids. I was involved in assessing which buses we should use in Singapore. And they are actually currently still undergoing trials to decide in the future which buses we're going to have in Singapore. But I'm no longer involved in that. I was actually doing more of helping Latin American companies move to Asia, bring their supply chain to Asia. And when COVID hit, so that's when I shifted to FinTech and I attended a FinTech SG course. Right now, I'm one of the co-founders of Seat Health, which is a health tech company, blockchain related, where we try to democratize people's healthcare information and help reduce the costs of healthcare for users throughout the region. Yep.
Thank you.
I
Thanks.
think
Thanks for
if
that.
you can see Say Heart Health, yeah.
Yes,
Thanks.
we saw it. I'll ask you a little bit more about that later. Each time I see you, I want to know if you're competing against Paywan. But anyway, Paywan, what are you doing? Or where did
Okay.
you first to tell us a little bit about your background? I know you have a rich background before you joined the class, and what are you doing now?
Okay, hi everyone, I'm Pei Wen. So basically before I actually joined the course, I was actually from banking. So my banking experience actually ranges from corporate banking all the way to, really implementation, etc. So I dealt a lot with SMEs and corporates on the corporate and transactional front. And I was also part of the team that actually saw through the entire G3 transformation process. So you know how we actually moved from manual checks to electronic payments. So I saw through that entire process. So after being banking for a while and getting a bit tired of it because there are new requirements, I took a break to look after my children. So it was a good break until COVID struck and I decided that I wanted to go back to work. And I realized like, hey, look, there's nothing out there for me. So why not just do some fintech course? Because it's something that is relevant to the world that we are in today. And it's something that's interesting because we all know how technology actually impacts our lives. So I went to the fintech course with an open mind. And so after that, I graduated from it happily. And I joined a healthcare technology firm that is actually focused on improving the life of others through healthcare technology.
Awesome, amazing. Doobie.
Hi. Thanks for the introduction. My name is Doobie, and I was the FinTech Sim program, the third batch, so graduated about a year ago. And before I actually joined the course, I was in banking as well, like Paywan, but I was in credit approval. So I was looking after all the Australian corporates in Singapore, and then deciding whether or not we should actually grant the loan to the client. And after about 10 years with the bank, 7 years in London and then 3 years in Singapore, I decided to take a break and then just really take stock of my life and see exactly what I want to do next, So I went to the FinTech course and graduated, and upon completion of the course, I joined UBS and as a IT business analyst. So I've been with them for coming to a year right now. Started with them by doing a project which actually required me to apply Python and SQL, these two languages that I learned during the course. That project has gone live 3 months ago, and I'm on a new project right now, which as a bank, we are trying to leverage the cloud technology in the things that we do. That is a 3 to 5 years project. It's a very long one. It's bank-wide, worldwide. So really exciting and really happy to be here to just share my learning experience later on and to answer whatever questions you guys may have. So don't be shy, like what Diana said earlier. We are just really very friendly people and look forward to talking to you later.
Yeah, true. Because if you were not, then you would have failed and you would not be in this conversation today. I'm kidding, really, guys. It's been a long day, and there's a little bit of.
They're all friendly. The only unfriendly one is me.
Okay, thanks very much. Thanks, Doobie. I still have Glenn. Glenn, can I get you to briefly talk about your own background before you join? And we spent a lot of time talking as well about career changes and the needs and the wants, you and I in particular, about that journey and these type of decisions. Right after you talk about where you came from and after the course, could I ask you to kick off with the first question about, how hard or easy was it to get into technology really, as sort of a career and a job after coming out of this course? But first what you did.
Okay.
Before.
So no, I was from FinTech SG batch 3. We're really one of the pioneers of the program together with Don and Paywan. Doobie came after us.
Sorry, so, I thought I was in batch 3. I'm actually in batch 4.
Yes.
Yeah, right. Part of us, don't worry.
Yeah, but still part of us.
Competitive.
Yeah.
So shortly after graduating, so I was recruited to be a tech lead for a small, SME fintech organization. Also given an opportunity to start a software solutions company. So I oversaw massive hiring programs and staffing all the way to business operations and also development work. So back to your question, right? Who was I? I used to be an ex-banker, so pretty much entrenched in wealth management, banking sales, so client relationship management, very front-facing and very remote from technology. So for me, this was a pretty huge shift in terms of my career trajectory, right? And as to pertaining to your question, right? How difficult? This itself is a very difficult question. It really depends according to the individuals. So for my perspective, at least, I feel that one of the biggest takeaways from this course is actually building the community. So as you can see, we are all still friends today, still really trying to help each other out in our journey. I don't think that it ends simply because the program has ended, but it's only the beginning actually for all of us to start deepening our tech capacity and starting to bring the theoretical concepts that we learn from the course into the real world. So how difficult it is to transit, I would say that there are a fair amount of challenges in the process, but with the community that you gain through the program, especially the network, we still get along with all the professors and get together, just help each other out. I'm pretty sure you will all be in a good place, right? We're all in a good place to succeed better.
Yeah, fantastic. Hey, interesting you mentioned about the challenges. Could you say a little bit about what type of challenges you faced?
Well, most importantly, if you want to get into the tech industry, definitely you need to know some people around. So what the course actually helps is, how the course actually helped is we actually get to network with various people from various organizations and industries, and everyone's free to just reach out to the people that you meet from the program, just to share more about your career aspirations, just to get a feel on what type of industry do you want to be in. I know this is a fintech program, but even within fintech, there are several branches as well. So a lot of organizations out there. So really the floor is open for you to explore. Yeah. So, but the challenge is actually getting the first step out, right? To reach out to people. And this is what we're doing here today. We're trying to really get people to reach out to us as well. Really, through this program, I can feel that a lot of the industry leaders today, they are really open to meeting talented people through the program, to reach out to them. Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. And till today, I'm still trying to recruit you, but it's not so easy still. Dawn, can I ask you, turn it around, were there any challenges that you encountered during the course, especially coming from such a different background? I know, some of your classmates, a few of them in the room today came from banking and finance. So, at least you have that going. You come from tech, you have that going. But for you, it was totally, something totally different on all factors. How did you experience that?
For me, challenging is fun. It makes life more interesting, Otherwise, if you're always too comfortable, you probably end up dead sooner or later. You don't grow, right? So for me, I think the course was very useful. You have a macro view. They cover, give you a very good foundation to build upon, and they actually go into the details of some of the codings. You get to experience coding all the different languages. It was tough for me because I really had no technical background. I love using technology as a tool, but the nuts and bolts, how you actually code to get it done, that was something I didn't have. But I had a lot of help. So I worked with my course coordinates, asking, hey, how do I do this? How do I do that? Fine, please give me the answer. Then I got the answer, then you read through, then you see, they try it out, then you realize, hey, sometimes it works, it doesn't work. You get the answer, you put extra spacing, it doesn't work. You put a comma instead of full stop, it doesn't work, So it's a lot of trial and error, a lot of late nights, a lot of discussions. We had a lot of technical difficulties because it was COVID period, and sometimes your Wi-Fi signal is bad or something, and it doesn't work. And we had some challenges when I was using a Mac and certain programs only run on Windows, and we had to get help to get a virtual machine up and running. Then we used that to connect to it. So it was fun, a lot of different challenges, but as you face them, you overcome them, then you grow. So I felt that this program really helped me to expand on my abilities. And of course, the great network, with friends, we can always joke around. We go out, we talk about all the crazy ideas we have, yeah, very, very fun.
Well, it seems like you guys definitely had a lot of chemistry. This is not a guarantee, is it? Or do you think that, kind of across the board, we have a good chance of building lasting friendships like this? There must be something in the air here, or what do you think it is?
I think it depends on the individual. If you really want to build your network, you reach out, you speak to somebody, you must take a step.
Yeah.
You don't just sit down and expect, you attend a course, you sit down, you're a sponge, everything falls in and suddenly transform, you become a great coder.
Yeah.
No, that's not the way it happens, right? Yeah. So you need to be willing to step out your comfort zone, right? Learn, be willing to learn, be open.
I guess from both from the skill side as well as from the qualitative side, and that this is something that we spoke about a lot in the classroom as well. You're going to get as much out of this course as you're willing to put into it, probably even more. So that's something that, when people ask me about the course, that's something I like to say. But Pei Wen, maybe can you shed a little bit of light, having gone through the course and the decision-making processes of, what do I choose, where do I end up, what choices do I have? If you were to advise someone today, and you would be at the beginning of the course again, knowing what you know today, how would you have better prepared or differently prepared, or not at all? How did you prepare for the course? What's, words of wisdom can you share here?
Very simple. My words of wisdom is going with an open mind. Yeah, because the thing is that you do not know what you're going to expect out from it, but basically you have an end goal. And at the point of time, my end goal was actually simply to gain knowledge, be it where I will be, it doesn't matter. I want to gain the knowledge because I know how this is actually going to impact us. So I went in with an open mind. Coding is not something that I know. I don't have any computer science degree, okay? My degree was in sociology, which is totally, just talking and writing, etc. So knowing that, so it's like when you go in, you don't have any expectations. You don't put any, hopes on yourself, but you just go with the flow. And I think I'm really blessed in the sense that the entire batch itself was very, very helpful. Like what I think Dawn also mentioned. So we spent a lot of time on Zoom trying to understand each other and trying to know our own difficulties. And a lot actually depends on the attitude. So you can't go into something without knowing what you want to achieve at the end of the day. So for me, when I went in, I knew that I want to actually complete PC1, PC2, PC3. Those are the 3 that I need to complete. No matter what, I cannot fail. I need to get through it. So it's true with the help of all these supporting batchmates that I have, including Doobie. You're not forgotten. So we actually made it through together. So my words of advice to people would definitely be, don't be scared of what is coming. Technology is a big thing in the current eco space. So whether you like it or not, right, it's all around you. You have to accept that fact. So go in an open mind, try out new things, and throughout the entire decision-making process, right, you need to know what exactly are you good at the end of the day. If you're not good in coding, like I'm not good in coding, but I know that with my previous skill set, let's see, for me, I was in banking. So in my previous skill set, I had a lot of soft skills as an RM. So I can actually bring it on to my next course of work as a RM, or maybe it's not in the banking sector, but rather to actually advise people on technology. Those are the soft skills that you need to talk to partners, etc. So these are the kinds of skill sets you can actually bring along. You have to know what you can mix and match. You have acquired this knowledge, so you have to pair it out with something existing that you know that you are good at. So that formed actually part of my decision process in trying to find, this current role in Care Health as the country manager.
Thank you very much. You're doing an amazing job. Dubi, can I ask you, what was the hardest part of the program? Was it difficult? Is it a difficult course? Was it, very high workload? Were you up from day to night doing homework, preparing, drinking with your colleagues?
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
what Dawn mentioned earlier, what he experienced, exactly was what I went through as well. The long nights, when it comes to coding, you get stuck and then you try to Google or you ask your classmates. I remember one of the very first few projects that we need to do was to design a website just on that alone without even connecting to the back end. And on that part, it took me about 3 days and I was still almost like half done. So that said, what I really, really enjoyed about this course is that NUS actually impart all the basic skills that you need to help you to jumpstart a career in technology. They will not teach you everything, because there's so much to learn about technology. You have the hard skills, you have the coding skills, you have those that don't require any coding like DevOps and all that. So what they do is, the basic package, they impart it to you. And with that, you can actually launch a career in technology. But, one thing we need to really remind ourselves, or especially myself, is that the learning journey doesn't end there at the end of the course. It continues. We have these basic skills. So I know a little bit about Python. Actually, when I was doing the Python programming UBS, so much that I still do not know. So I went to Google, I went to ask my teammates, same thing, exactly what I used to do at course. I applied the same in my real work, and takes about some time, but thankfully it all was done and all good, up and running the program. So that is really what I enjoy. The challenges are really there, but when I told myself, when I look around at all the coders in the world, most of them are actually self-taught. So I think, okay, let's continue learning, and from there we'll become better and better.
Thanks for that incredible, earnest sharing. That's really, really nice. Hey, Glenn, would you say that you were able to transfer your current expertise into, your new, career, your new roles, the new direction that you've chosen?
Well, I think that the program has actually given me a very, very good step up from there. Of course, through the program, I can't leave the program saying that I'm expert in any of the technologies that was taught to me, but definitely we'll be able to figure out from there how to sharpen some of these skills that I have. So say, for example, we did cloud computing during the program. So for myself, I actually went on further to gain extra skill sets by taking Coursera courses on cloud, just to get better at it. So I still can't say I'm an expert at it, right? But well, at least I know the direction, I know where I can get resources from. I think throughout this whole period where after the program, it is very important to stay connected with the friends that you meet along the way. Because when I first started the program, I was very lonely too, because I decided to quit my job abruptly, right? Just to join the program, just because I wanted a chance to join the tech industry. But it was really through the program that I found many like-minded people, very similar in situations as well. So that really helped me a lot along the way. So it's been a learning journey so far, and I think I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it with all the newfound friends. My circle would have been very different compared to who I was a couple of years back. I only hung out with the front office wealth managers, right?
And now you're really cool.
Thank you.
Hey, Dawn, do you have anything to add to this? Like, how did your existing skill sets, were you able to bring those along and kind of build on that, and how do they play a role today in your
Yeah,
new
definitely,
new life?
Definitely. Because through all your experiences, you learn something, right? And I think meeting people in the financial industry, I mean, in the past, I was thinking, oh, banking is crazy. These people only want money, only, But now I realize, hey, banking is something that everybody needs, right? Whether it's the bank providing it or fintech providing it, ultimately it is something that humans need. Animals don't need banking. Humans need banking. So it's good to know what's out there, what the capabilities are, and the technology is evolving and growing every day. And you can't know everything or know what is the best thing. So that's why the bigger your network, the more likely you are to know what's new, what you can use, what you can apply, and how you can bring all these things together. Because a lot of the tech people may be focusing on that tech only. They don't look at the use cases. So for me, because I've been involved in different industries and all that, I always think, hey, how can we apply this to a new industry, right? How can we take advantage of this? So yeah, I think it's been useful, and I think it's definitely an up and coming industry. A lot of people are going into it, and I mean, this change is bound to happen, whether we willingly go into it or we are dragged, kicking and screaming into it. The change will happen, especially if you're living in a country like Singapore, right? The good thing about being in Singapore is, yeah, you're at the forefront, and if you can scale it in the region, you're gonna benefit a lot of people in the region here, right? That's why I also look at health tech, because this is something that everybody will need, right? As the population ages, especially in Singapore, health is going to be a priority for most people, right? If you can prevent issues with health, that'll be great. But then if it happens, how are you going to do it? Some people are not prepared for it and all that. So technology can help alleviate some of these, which is why I went into it.
Yeah. So that's very interesting to hear you say that. And I think as we listen to you and our colleagues talk, there's definitely something there about the change is going to happen. Technology is there to stay, and there's somewhat maybe a more obvious or less obvious little voice going, am I going to be left behind? How relevant am I going to be? And how what do I do to stay in touch? And learn. So I think these are all very valid sort of touch points. And I know you guys all know each other very well here. I think we're amongst friends. I would invite you to ask your ex-classmates some maybe earnest questions where things we do wonder about, right? What were your doubts? What were your fears? And I would invite the floor as well to jump in. Hey, these guys have been through all of this already, so I think they're more than happy to share. Pei Wen, do you want to ask Glenn any insightful question here? I think I can see he's rearing to answer.
So much insights for you. Come, Pei Wen, ask me.
Come, Pei Wen. Pei Wen is always. Pei Wen is asking difficult questions every day.
I feel like yeah, it's a catch-up session, right? Because of the restriction we have right now.
I'm a very difficult person, okay?
Oh, I hope you're not a very difficult person at work.
No comment.
So Glenn, what was the thing that you really disliked the most about the course?
Dislike the most?
And what did you do to make yourself happy?
I'll tell you, I dislike the fact that we always have to talk to each other behind screens the most during the course, because I really enjoyed the company of everyone. And what did we do? Actually, to be honest,
you love us.
We managed to meet up with everyone, right? I at least for me, I think I met everyone from the program.
Only Glenn met everyone. Only Glenn met everyone.
Yeah.
Glenn is always
I set the
people,
I'm trying to set the stage
so
that everyone can leave this course with a bigger community of people in the tech industry, right? Because we all leverage on one another, right? So really for me, I love connecting people. So back then during the program, I just really made an effort to make sure that everyone just connects with each other. And see, we were still connected today. And if we want to reach out to anyone whom we met from the program back then, we're still able to do so. And I think that that's something that is actually, it's really hard to come by too, right? You to really, you know, meet friends that can get along so well, you know, through the program. So I really that was something which I'm still, as much as I'm in this trying to be as tech as possible, right? But still not, I don't want to miss out on the interpersonal touch when it comes to connecting with people. So
I hear that. But
great for me.
so was it difficult to make the switch into tech? Let's just ask it.
The switch to tech. Yeah, it was a difficult decision back then, because to be honest, for a lot of especially for me, although I don't consider myself deep into my mid-career, but to really leave behind a role that you have been doing and progressing well for so many years, that was a difficult decision to make. And I think it's a deeply personal one, to be honest, because you got to ask yourself what are your career aspirations, where do you want to be, and these are difficult questions to answer as well. So if you want to join the FinTech program, there's a great likelihood that you have some interest in finance and technology, and you probably wouldn't really know where you want to be at yet, but I'm sure you'll figure it out along the way. So yeah, the decision was not an easy one to make, to be honest.
And does it, maybe I can ask Doobie, it's definitely not an easy decision. I'm with you, Glenn. Doobie, does it mean that, you know, starting, you know, new in tech, does it always mean that you have to start at the bottom of the value chain? Is this a given?
No, not necessarily. You know, we talk about those skill sets that we acquire or we have in our previous role, and whether or not we can actually apply them here. I think that is something that, you know, doesn't mean that we have to start from scratch. Your organizational skill, and I think something we should talk about as well, your people-to-people skills, all these are really important also when you cross over to technology. It doesn't mean that, you know, once you are in this IT role, you'll be working on your own, by yourself, in front of the computer all the time without interacting with anyone. That is not the case. You know, for example, in my role right now, it is a worldwide project. I work with people from India, from Switzerland, from Australia, and from the States. So all of us coming together, you know, different background, different culture. The way we talk to people, the way we relate to people, whatever you learn in the past applies right now. In terms of your IT knowledge, yeah, perhaps we are starting from at the lower level, but there is so much room for improvement, so much more, you know, and the ball is really in our court actually, to really continue learning, pick up whatever knowledge that we are still lacking, you know, close the gap, and close the gap, make it smaller and smaller, and we will become better and better, I feel. Unlike Glenn, actually, it wasn't a very difficult decision for me to switch over to technology. I don't know why. You know, when I left my job, took a 2-year break, and I said to myself, you know, Doobie, what is it that you really, really enjoy doing going forward? You know, I said to myself, I don't want to wake up dragging my feet, going to work anymore. I just want to stay happy. You know, to answer Peiwen's question, you know, what makes us happy? Sometimes I feel that it is a choice that we have to make, a conscious effort, you know, to stay happy. So I said, okay, let's look at what are the areas that I can go into. You know, I thought about hospitality, blah, 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 so many things. And I narrowed it down to technology. Maybe because I graduated with mathematics. So I have that mindset of, you know, what is right is right, what is wrong is wrong. Very coding style. So it wasn't that difficult for me actually to get into technology. But if you ask me, where am I right now in my technology career, in that curve? I'm still somewhere here, I feel. There's so much more I can learn, can grow, and I'm going to continue doing that, you know.
That's
Yes.
fantastic. Yeah.
Mm.
So, hey, that's an interesting segue. Hearing all of your experiences like this in a row, how important would you say is affording yourself a little bit of time, and however you define a little bit of time, to pause and reflect and consciously think through some of these decisions? I think many of us, some of us, go through iterations very quickly, never thinking about them, and life kind of like happens to you. At which point in time, and how meaningful was it to deliberately take a pause and reflect on that? What kind of impact did that have on you? Maybe I circle back to Peiwen for this. Peiwen, are you still with us?
Yes. Why are you always giving me a difficult questions?
One of your colleagues, I'm more than happy to help you out.
Yeah, because you're a difficult person, remember? That's why you get a difficult question.
Okay, Dom then. Dom.
Then Dawn, you can
Oh,
answer.
no.
Dawn, you can answer for me.
Sorry, what was the question?
Pay
Okay,
attention.
pay attention. Fail. Doobie, you're the last man standing.
Yeah, batch 4. I'm kidding. Sorry, waiting for you, Don.
Sorry, I was asking for a repeat of the question. I'll answer it. But
How
what's the question?
important? How important was it to, or is it, to afford yourself a moment to reflect?
Oh, for me, I think it's always important to reflect. In fact, I try to reflect every day, but I haven't made it a habit. Because it's only when you reflect that you actually truly gain the lesson that you've learned in your experiences.
Yeah, from a
So
career
I think
perspective, though, I think, yeah.
career perspective, yeah, I've reinvented myself several times, depending on situation. And it's always good to have a break to really have a holistic view of your whole life, right? Because I believe all of us have the same goal in life. We all want to be happy, right? But we go about it in different ways. We think certain things will make us happy. We think certain things we do will make us happy. But ultimately, it's I feel it's just your own decision to be happy, no matter what, right? Whatever the circumstances.
No one can make it happen for you. Yeah.
Let me.
Yeah, nobody can make it happen to you.
I think
Let me
it's
add
actually
to that.
more on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
please.
Okay, Peiwen first, ladies first.
Oh, thank you. So I think everyone goes through different stages of life. And at different stages of life, you actually want different things. So it's like, when I first started in work, all I wanted was get the money here, get the money here. That's all I wanted. Money. So after that, after a while, you start getting tired of the chase, because it's like, it's draining you out. And you start asking yourself, so what is it that you truly want right now at this stage of your life? And after that, it was like, you get married and you have kids and you realize that, hey, look, now it's not about money, it's about stability. And what can give you that stability? So you try to search for an answer. So I was still in banking at a point in time because I didn't know what else I could do. So I was a bit lost, like, okay, let me try this out. So I switched from department to department, from front end to back end, all kinds of roles. And I finally found my foothold in front office roles, which I actually enjoyed. But after a while, I started getting tired of it because it was, in my perspective, it was very hierarchical. And I got sick of it. And I started asking myself again, what do I want? So it was at that stage I decided that, hey, look, my kids are still young. I should just take a break and care for them and rethink my entire path. What do I really want? And I think that 1 to 2 years break was actually very good because it helped me to actually sense out what is at the back of my mind and what do I want to achieve in the next 5 years. So for one thing, after being in banking for quite a while, I do know that technology is the way to go. And also I know that it's going to be a next big thing. I might not be making a lot of money out from it, but I can help people. And that's also one of the reasons why I chose to go for this course, despite having seen quite a number of other courses out there. And also, why I actually went into healthcare is also probably we know that you can make use of it to enable people's lives. And that's where I know I should be heading, at least in the next 5 to 10 years. Okay, Glenn.
Thank you. Actually, I see a very interesting question coming out from the audience. Raymond wants to know, entering the tech industry with limited tech background, which is definitely the case for all of us, I can say, around the table here. How is the imposter syndrome a challenge, and how do you overcome that? Did you face it? And if so, how did you overcome it? Or were you just equipped with all the right skills and attitude and spirit? Glenn, maybe. Yes.
Yeah, try and make sense of the question actually. Imposter syndrome. Sorry, I need a bit of a definition there.
Well, the background is a little bit that, you kind of, you're so acutely aware of your own limitations that becomes a little bit, the lack of confidence in carrying out that job itself.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's not only happening, Raymond, if I may, when you lack the specific specialist skills. I think it can probably happen at any point of your career, but it's a very interesting one to talk about. And I do speak about it with my team members quite a lot on a daily basis, right? Thank you, Dom, for pasting that into the chat. So Dom says that we might just have to work harder and holding yourself to higher standards. Maybe Dom, since you pasted that in, is there something you can share about this in your career?
No, I pasted that because I use one of the greatest resources we have, Google. But I think it depends on the individual. Sometimes you feel that you don't know, but if you look at a wider perspective, it's probably because maybe a lot of other people also don't know. Not many people know all the answers, right? Actually, I think nobody knows all the answers. So you may know a part of the answer, and you work with people who know the other parts. You band together to get the whole answer. That's how you solve problems in the world, right? You need to develop new technologies. Right now, they are talking about sustainability and all these kind of things, the problems that we are causing. So we probably can't solve the problems that we create with the same level of technology. We need to develop new technology in order to serve the problems they create with the current level of technology. So I think imposter syndrome may be here to stay because you don't know everything. For me, I think the more I learn, the more I realize, I don't know a lot of things, right? So if that's the attitude you have, you always be an imposter because you will never know everything. There's no way you can take in all the knowledge in the world.
And I think you guys answered that quite nicely as well in the conversation. What I picked up was, yes, you acknowledge you don't know everything all the time, but you build a strong network around yourselves. You're curious, you keep an open mind, you ask questions, and you support each other. Raymond, is there anything you would like to share or further ask this group with regard to this very specific, very interesting topic?
No special questions to ask actually. Just wanted to find out everyone's thought process and journey over this, because I do see like all over the internet that this is quite prevalent, specific to the tech industry. So as people who've transited from other careers, I thought it would be something, there's a lot of experience that you can share about it. Yeah, so thanks for that.
Well, but okay, maybe I can also add a bit to this. In my own experience, I personally feel that the people that I encounter in the tech industry, even those that are already very established in their knowledge, right? A lot of the genuine people that I've met always still feel that there's a lot more out there for them to learn. So this is how I actually, try to get a better understanding of that person also, because I know that this whole tech industry, tech is so huge, right? So if that person comes from a attitude of continuous learning, and I think a lot of people here are, I feel that there is more relatedness to this person, and I don't feel that, I would rather engage with such a person more than somebody who can actually just try to give me a lot of information and a lot of things that he or she knows, because personally, I feel that tech changes so fast as well these days. And, the only right person that I should be engaging with is somebody that acknowledges that things happen and changes so fast, and they're just continuously learning. And that's where I build on my community. I hope to meet more people like that, in fact, and to add these people into my community, just because I myself feel that, it's just so hard to catch up with what's changing every single day. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for that sharing. And if I may just steal a few moments from you guys, and having spent the last, 12 months or so building a full tech team coming from a non-tech background, I think the key really here is genuine interest. I think you mentioned that very aptly, right? So truly listening to the problems, not pretending to know something that you don't know, and also just want to roll your sleeves out and wanting to hear. So one, don't pretend you know something that you don't know, and it's really okay to ask questions. But then when someone answers, do listen. Right. And I think the key here is that everybody brings something very valuable to the table. You just need to figure out what that thing for you is at that particular table. So, hey, everyone, I'm conscious of the time. I think we have a couple more minutes to go. I would like to invite more questions from the room, if there are any. If not, I'm going to go around the table for parting words from our panelists today.
I see Shankar is here.
Shankar is here. I didn't see you coming.
Sorry, I just came in. I was
Hi,
really
Shankar.
late. Sorry.
Thanks for the support, Shankar.
No problem.
Yeah, Shankar.
Sorry, guys. Very sorry.
You had meeting with the people funding your startup, right?
In the pipeline.
Well,
maybe
I can invite you to give some parting words then, Shankar. We had a very animated session from topics to difficult decisions to the imposter syndrome, as well as getting through the course and building lasting networks. So can I leave you to share a couple of words?
Yeah, maybe I'll just give a quick one. So thank you. Nice to come here and of course to share some of the thoughts. Maybe a little bit from my own story. It's like last year was a difficult year for everyone, I guess. And so basically took a lot of courage for me because I was in the hospitality industry for almost a decade, coming from the tech background though. It's not an easy transaction. Took a lot of courage and a lot of financial assessment to make a decision to say that I'm going to pull the plug and start to go back to school and learn something along the line. So there you go. NUS FinTech was there. So a leap of faith and a lot of risk assessment and courage. And here I am. So first thing first, I think the most important thing is to, as Keith always share, I think that's one of the key points, right? To know, decide, act. So execution is very important, right? Then once you're on board, just make sure you see through it till the end. It's not going to be an easy ride. It's definitely a lot of struggles along the way. Most important is to keep an open mind on this whole process because it's new knowledge, new ground, new friends, new connections, new network. It's never too late. When you come with this kind of open mind concept and you're willing to absorb and learn and grow at the same time, it will lead you to a lot of different paths. So many paths that I came here is like, I make good connections like Professor Keith himself, Diana, and of course, Dawn and Glenn were my mentors for my capstone project, which was showcased yesterday. That was another key part. I really loved it and enjoyed it. So yeah, then it opens up a lot of different avenues for you. So the key part is to keep an open mind and jump onto the bandwagon with a lot of leap of faith. That's the thing. And hustle hard. Yes.
Beautifully said. Thank you very much, Shankar. Thank you.
Thank you for having me here.
Last chance for a question out of the room. From the audience. None? These were some of the scariest moments for me in class when I'm teaching and I ask a question and it's quiet. And I wonder, have I been mute all this time?
Yeah, this is when silence is happening, right?
Yeah, we're happy to take.
Did you have silence during your
that
class?
our batch was actually very noisy.
Vocal, yes. Well,
no one keeps quiet.
Really happy to take questions. No? Any questions?
Oh,
Ah.
yes.
Somebody asked a
Finally.
question. Yes.
Yes.
Frederick.
Wow. It's,
Thank you, Frederick, for the question. So people who had a full-time job, Glenn.
I quit my job. I mean, I was having a full-time job, but I decided just to pull the plug because honestly, it was quite challenging for me. So I decided to do this full-time.
So
know.
you took the sabbatical, right? You quit to take
Unfocused.
the, yeah, okay.
Yep.
All
yep,
right.
Yep.
But I know for a fact that there were people who were holding full-time jobs doing this.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
And it's certainly challenging. I know Uli is in the room as well. You've also had students in the room who were doing straddling both. I think it can be done. I believe it is structured in a way that it can be done specifically. I'm not sure if any of you can really testify to doing both at the same time. None of
Not me. No.
We'll take a
but I
lot
know
of mental
people who
power.
are- yeah.
Yep.
yeah.
But we
Depends on the
know,
individual.
right?
It depends
Yep.
on the individual.
Yep. I think if you really want to juggle between both, it's also
It
very
can be done.
important. Yeah, it can be done. It's very important for you to make friends so that you know, if you miss out on things, you can reach out to people because this program is essentially very much virtual, right? So make some friends in during class and they'll be able to tide you through.
I'll be very, very honest. If let's say you are holding a full-time job and you want to go into this course, yes, possible, but the fulfilling criteria needs to be that you yourself have to be digitally savvy. Otherwise,
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
yes,
good
that's
point.
what the fulfilling criteria.
Yeah. Let's not forget that if we miss a full stop somewhere or like you know, a particular word somewhere on the code, it just doesn't run.
Yep, because your nights are basically you don't have to sleep anymore. It's
Yeah.
like a newborn, you know.
You spend your nights debugging.
It's like a newborn, you know,
Yeah.
every few hours.
Yeah.
I think you can make the course work for you if you are able to grind almost every day, set aside like an hour or two, and then you need to make sure that you take things in bite sizes for you, that you're able to chew and swallow it at the same time so that, you know, the information is there. Or it's going to be very difficult because if you're going to miss one stone and then you just trying to rush for it, I'm telling you the leap of gap is so huge that you'll be stumbling and falling instead. Yeah. So it's best to get it into bite sizes, manage your time very well, and then keep it in short forms and grind every day. The grinding is very important. Yeah. Then definitely you should be able to do it.
Masterclass in time management. Wow.
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you for those questions.
Challenge in juggling.
Yes, patience and taking small steps at a time. Yeah, I'm very for, you know, go. Getty, we're the opposite. Thank you. Thanks, Frederick.
Raymond has a question.
Yes.
So he asked if the challenge in juggling with a full-time job comes more from PC2 and PC3. So what about PC1?
Oh,
PC1 was where we see most of you, right, Diana? So maybe you could answer about
Yes.
PC1.
PC1, that's a breeze, right, Di?
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say it's a
No, it
breeze.
depends.
For the
It
last
depends on
module.
who it
To be
is.
honest, I wouldn't say it's a breeze.
Except for the last
Yeah.
module.
class. Last I checked, I'm the one called Diana, and I was heading that class, right?
Yeah.
No, jokes aside, I think PC1 is what we really consider a little bit as a preparation leading up to PC2, PC3. So you get a lot of time getting to know your classmates, your group, you know, really form those bonds to invest in that network. Also, PC1 is quite foundational, so it has tools, concepts, but also takes you through, you know, the beginnings of banking, finance, insurance. So yes, certainly, if you come from a more banking finance background, the PC1 is generally considered to be a bit more and a business type of background or law, for instance. Then PC1 is generally considered a little bit lighter. Now, having said that, the instructors also do know a little bit who they have in the classroom. So, of course, if I have a classroom full of bankers, then we crank it up a notch. All right.
Yeah,
So-
because the last I recall during PC1, we didn't even had the sufficient toilet breaks, right? So it was pretty intense.
Ouch.
It's because we had a lot of questions, Glenn.
I think that's a lot of.
All right, guys, thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for the take. I had some very good takeaways. Curiosity, open mind, Okay, and investing in network, something I believe in myself very, very much. So I'm so glad to hear all of you uttering the same valuable skills and assets we've taken away from the last couple of months and this journey together. Thank you very much for taking time with us today. I think if you want, you can post maybe your LinkedIn handle here so that people can connect up with you. You can find us there as well on the page. I think Keith shared it, or Getty, maybe you can. Oh, I think that it's already there. You can find us on LinkedIn and reach out to us should you have any more questions, be it career, course, workload, yeah, or just a chat, of course. Thank you very much, everyone.
Definitely, and thank you so much. Diana, the moderator, panelists, really appreciate you all sharing your honest experiences and also inspiring us with your growth to this point. I'm really inspired, having seen you in class and now here talking about what you've gone through and what you learned, and it's great feedback for me too. Really, really appreciate it, and just made my day. I'm sharing with everyone the FinTech SG program. We have an information session this coming Friday, November 12th at 3 p.m. Yep, so come on in, hear all about it. Come in and get interviewed or take the assessment as well if you want to join the program. The seats in the program go fast, so we encourage you to stop by and listen. You've heard a bit about the team here as well. Thank you again for sharing all about this, and great to see that one of the most important takeaways was collaborate, get to know each other as well. So as they're throwing in their LinkedIn, please go ahead and link up with them as well. I know that you'll be able to meet them and get their time and so forth, and be respectful, of course, but connect. We can't do this alone. We can't go into FinTech by ourselves. Like one of the folks said today, there's just so much to learn. And that's where we want to connect and work with each other to bring things to life. That said, we have an event ahead, which is by Ripple. And Ripple is going to let you get your hands dirty. You're going to be able to try out the Ripple technology. Ripple is run on XRP, and this is going to be run with Matt Hamilton. So come on over to the next breakout room. Getty will help move you guys over to join us there, and I believe Maria too. And so listen to Ripple as they share how you can actually put some of these thoughts, the concepts and things that you heard into real life. And Ripple can be a great partner for your next startup project as well, if you want to do some sort of payments or inter-country movement of funds and more. So let's go on over there. Thanks again, panel. Really appreciate you guys.